But I just think it's an amazing way to create more connection and for us all to be able to do something together in that community and develop plans from that. Hello and welcome. Mentoring with Geraldine is a bite-sized practitioner podcast for naturopaths, nutritionists, herbalists, and practitioners. This podcast responds directly to your needs, the needs of the practicing natural therapist. With interviews, herbal discussions, something business and something clinical each week, you'll get the variety you need and enjoy to stay motivated in practice. Hello and welcome to the podcast. How are you all today? I'm a little bit chilly actually, to be perfectly honest. I forgot to put a jumper on and I've started talking. So I'm going to warm myself up with my talking. How does that sound? So I've got some really exciting news. How will I get to it? Let's start at the beginning, shall we? So when I started the academy at the beginning of the year, I started it in February, and it's been really good. To be perfectly honest, it's been really good. It's been, I decided to support everybody else within my group. So the people within the graduate program had automatic admission to the academy because there are lots of additional emails and educational webinars and training videos and things that I talk about, the basics, the simple stuff of business are in there. And it's really motivating and it keeps people accountable so that the people in the graduate program who were meeting me on a Wednesday weekly would also be able to meet me if they wanted to, in addition to that. And the people in the next level group who are people who have clients. So we talk about their clients and we talk about them remaining accountable to their projects. So they would be able to be in there and they'd be able to ask questions about their projects. So everybody had a Facebook group in which to chat about what was going on with them, but not actually ask clinical questions, because the clinical questions, I do have strictly education and sport and I do run strictly practitioners, and both of those are for those clinical questions so that everybody hoses in and supports, because that's the best way of doing things, because there's always things we don't know. What's that old saying? The more you learn, the less you know. So it's really wonderful when you've got loads of practitioners who can hoe in with, I prefer this product, or I found that this herb is better than that herb for that problem, or are they doing this? Have you done this test? Whatever. So I've got 2 clinical Facebook groups already, so it was really nice to have a Facebook group where people can just ask all the other questions and the other stuff. And so I put all my graduate program attendees in there, and they actually finished mid-year. But because of everything that's gone on this year, I've maintained their membership until now. And it was just open and everyone could join. And I was going, well, once I get my head around Podia, which is the education platform I'm using, I'll put the price up. And then at the beginning of the year, I'd also said to people in my next level group and anyone who is still in the academy that we would have a day here in Adelaide, a training day here in Adelaide in my home. And I would invite people to my home. There would be an absolute limit. I don't have a big house. There would be an absolute limit of 20 on the number of people that could come. And we'd all be here together and we'd do lots of renewal and rejuvenation. Now, that's not going to happen, is it? Let's be honest. So all through all of this stuff that's gone on, I've just shelved that day in Adelaide. I've completely shelved it and I thought it's just not going to happen. And then I had a bit of a revelation the other day, and I thought, I was talking to my mentor, and I've got a couple of mentors, and I talked to a girl who mentors me in Melbourne and a shamanic mentor I have, and I was talking to all of them, and it was just like, why have you shelved this? And then I drew a card and it said, follow your dream. And I thought, okay, we can have a virtual day, and I can still make this virtual day as good as I could make it and do all the things I was going to do here in my home, the cacao ceremony, the drumming ceremony, the, looking back, the reflection, the journaling, and then looking forward and setting up our plans. And I thought, well, actually, with some tweaking, I can do all of this in a Zoom room, and I can have more people, not many more. I think probably 30 would be a nice round number, maybe tops 40, because then I could do 4 groups of 10. But I think after that, a screen sits nicely into 4. It doesn't really separate down into 3 or up into 2, so 2 groups of 15. Or anyway, mathematics and the screen size, they're rather minor, aren't they? Let's move on. So anyway, so the people in the next level group and the people in the academy, because the graduate program people will now be leaving, the ones that aren't interested, and lots of people aren't. I mean, we're all doing different strokes for different folks. We're all doing different things at different points in our lives, aren't we? And so I am having a virtual day here. But I'm also closing the cart on the academy at the end of September. So at the price of $35 a week for all time, it won't change, it won't go up when the price goes up when I reopen it next March. And I think that the virtual day may ultimately be the way to go if this one is as amazing as I think it's going to be. It's included in the price of being an academy member, and it's included in the price of being a next level member. So if there are spaces, I'm thinking, maybe I'll put tickets out, but they're going to be, more expensive because at the moment I'm making a loss. I'm going to post out everything as part of everybody's payment, so I'm not going to be earning any money on it. But I just think it's an amazing way to create more connection and for us all to be able to do something together in that community and develop plans from that. Because I've conducted masterminds for the graduate program attendees and next level attendees regularly for the last however many 3-4 years that I've been doing them, and they've been really good. We have a hot seat, and we will be having hot seats on this as well. And by doing the hot seats, by talking out what you're doing, by getting the support of other people, it motivates you to move forward. And that's what I really want for my people within the academy. That's what I really want for my next level people, that they get something a bit different, a bit out there, something that's going to motivate. Because I know when I've gone away and gone on retreat, when I've sat in mastermind groups, when I've been able to talk out what I'm doing, I've had epiphanies. I had an epiphany after my first retreat to really bring my brand of education and teaching and who I am out further than lecturing at a college, lecturing in the Bachelor of Health Science course, and making sure that people who actually came out into the world got the support that they needed, because I could see the difference between nurse training, where you're trained and you get the support of your colleagues on the ward. There's always someone there that you can ask a question of. There's always someone there that, a doctor, another nurse, everyone is there, and you can be questioning them and asking them. And within the environment, it's absolutely normal. If I said to a physio who's there, "Why are you doing it like this?" they'd explain to me. They'd understand that I wasn't going, "Why are you doing it like that?" They'd explain to me knowing that I wanted to learn. And that's come through with me and carries on, and that I want you to learn. That's why you're here. That's why you're listening. That's why when you're listening to all my podcasts, hopefully you're a practitioner. If you're a member of the general public, then please find a practitioner. But when we're together and we're talking, we're able to bounce these ideas off each other. We're able to gain more. We're able to really put our heart out there, but then also bring our heart in and put our brains out there as well, because sometimes we've got to get through our own blocks to be able to move forward with what we want to do, to be able to see the light of what we should be doing and what we should be sharing and how we want to share it, how our need to train to be healthcare support, whatever it is we're doing, a nurse or a naturopath or a nutritionist or a herbalist, whatever that original plan was, is able to come to fruition, is able to become what we really want, where we really want to support our client base. But to take that next step, to get those ideas, it's wonderful to be in a mastermind or supportive group. And that's what this is going to be all about, the virtual day. So Let me tell you about it, shall I? There's goodie bags as well. My goodie bags are amazing. If you saw a couple of my social media posts about a goodie bag I received in the post, I was killing myself laughing about that one. Whereas my goodie bag, you're going to get smudge sticks, selenite sticks from Ethically Sourced. I'll just add that one there. It's going to be a visualization. There's cacao and instructions on how to make your cacao, because cacao is really high in theobromine, right? So it really sparks a lot of those centers of the brain that support that that change and that advancement and that thinking, so that you really can accentuate what you want. Accentuate, is that the word? No. When you write something and it really, and you're able to see the whole thing because you've written it down, because theobromine works. It's got, cacao has all sorts of things in it, but theobromine is its biggest brain stimulant one in there. So so we're going to have cacao drinking, we're going to have intentions, journaling, reflection. Then there's going to be webinar recordings and trainings, and then we'll go into Zoom groups, which is why I don't want it too big, because I need to be able to go between the groups and talk to everyone and make sure that everybody gets time with me. Then we're going to have lunch, and now this is where I think I've tried to do it a bit conferencey, and that everybody be getting a recipe and a spice mix, but I can't send the food all over Australia and New Zealand. I'm going to send recipe cards so that everybody can make their lunch the day before. It's a pre-made recipe, and then it's just a case of heating it, and then we'll all sit together again in groups. We'll spread the groups around and change people so that we have lunch together like you would in a conference. So I'm really looking forward to that. And we've got Louise, who's going to give us, Louise Kerwin, she's a naturopath in Rockhampton, and she follows, one of the recipes she follows and uses with her clients is AIP. And so she's got this beautiful recipe that she's going to share with us that's, FODMAPs friendly and all of the friendlies, because there's so many allergies and issues out there. So we're going to make sure that the recipe is completely friendly. And it means that we can sit and eat together the same meal like you would at a conference. How cool is that? And then if people have issues with certain foods, they know they're making it themselves. They're going to be safe. They can put in what they can or can't put in. So we will eat together. There will be wee breaks in there, obviously. I wouldn't do a day with that, regular wee breaks. But then we come back and we'll have Louise will smudge for us so that we can smudge the old year away, because the morning is about what our intentions were for 2020, what didn't happen in 2020, but what we can take forward into 2021. So we really want to reflect, we really want to look back at, we need to mine the gold of 2020, because there has been gold in 2020, and we need to shake up all those things, all the things of 2020, and shake them up so that we've got this new, fresh 2021 happening. It's all about renewal, isn't it? 2021 is going to be that fresh new year, and it's going to be what we learnt from lockdown. And we've all learnt different things. I'm working entirely online now. I have an office full of product that I don't know what I'm going to do with, because everything is online and everybody receives everything online. I've changed the way I work. I've introduced the academy. I've made the academy more accessible to everybody than my graduate program was. I'm trying to get my voice out more than ever before. So you can see how, with my podcast, and I do more lives and within the academy group itself. So you can see how I'm supporting all of the new graduates, all of those returning to work, and all those people who need motivation. I've got lots of people in my groups who've been qualified a really long time, and they need support to develop programs, or they need to support with whatever it is. And because I'm a clinical mentor, I'm able to sit there and say, well, actually, does that work? How is that going to work within the setting of your clinic? How are you going to deliver that, develop that? What are you going to say to the clients? What wording are you going to use? Because I'm in it so that you support your clients with my support. Okay, it's all about that's what clinical mentoring is all about, is making sure your clients get the results they need. But yeah, I've been in business for 15 years, so I do some business stuff, but I'm not going to be a nice business advisor, for example. So in the afternoon, after lunch, after our smudging session, there'll be another webinar, an educational webinar, and then we're going to go back into those Zoom groups, and we're really going to develop our plan for 2021. Because it is the quarter, October is the quarter, isn't it? We're almost heading there into, we've got to really start thinking about what we're going to be delivering over the new year, what we're going to be doing, especially with small children, how you're going to deal with the summer holidays and all of the things that happen here in Australia and New Zealand. If you're in the UK, how you're going to deal with the cold in the winter. And then we're going to finish with virtual drinks. So I'm still working on that one because I don't want to be sending actual alcohol out to anybody. So I'm still working on what I will be sending out to you all, so that everybody who comes to the virtual day can enjoy the virtual drinks at the end of the day, so that we're all done at 6 p.m. And I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to all of the things I know that are going in the goodie bag, a proper goodie bag with all sorts of wonderful things in it. And to people, it's people who are in the academy and people who are in my next level group. And so you might want to join. You might want to go to my website, which is geraldineheadley.podia.com, and join up to the academy, because now is the chance. It's going to be closing at the end of September, and then we've got our virtual day at the end of October. So, and it's not reopening. The cart isn't reopening. The group isn't reopening until the new year. And that does mean that all the information that's in there now is only available for everyone who stays until the end of the year, until card opens again. So it's there's a lot to be announced within the group and a lot of understanding, and there's a lot of training in there. So you really want to get in now and get all that training and then join us on the day, because there will definitely be a limit on the number of seats once I've nutted down how many I think I can handle in a group on a day, because you'll all want to see me, and I want to make sure that I have time with everyone within that day, and that I'm able to go through what it is that you need and how I can best support you going forward. So join up, join the academy. It's it's just the best place to be. There's lots in there, considering it's $35 a month. I mean, you can't really go wrong, can you? So how many coffees is that? I mean, you've probably already covered that in a week with coffee. And you get CPD points. Bargain. And no caffeine. Well, there will be for the cacao ceremony. Anyway, it's been brilliant talking to you. I hope you like this bonus episode, and I hope to see you very, very soon in my group or wherever it is I see you. Message me. Make sure that if you've enjoyed it, you say on iTunes that you've enjoyed it, and you leave me a review on whatever platform you're listening to this on, because it will mean that other practitioners get to hear about the podcast as well. So I look forward to speaking, seeing, hearing from you all very soon. Bye. Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast for the weekly episodes. If you'd like even more support and learning, then the Academy is for you. Here you'll find part 2 of the herbal discussions, more clinical learning, and case studies to support your clients in practice. Bye for now.